Well, fresh reports are coming in from Syria that rebels have captured a security post in southern Damascus. It's understood Arab television stations have broadcast footage which showed fighters surrounding the building, firing and waving rifles. That development follows the killing of 3 top officials in the Assad regime in a suicide bomb attack. So for the latest on the developments and what they mean, I'm joined by Otago University International Relations Professor Robert Patman. Thanks for joining us this morning. What impact will the deaths of these 3 leading figures have on Assad?
Well, I think it must be a demoralising blow because, after all, if the regime can't even defend some of its key officials, and these are really crucial people to Assad's crisis team, then it does raise questions about how long this regime can last. And clearly the battle, which has so far in recent days encompassed Damascus, is getting very close now to the heart of the epicentre of Assad's regime. Isn't
there a risk, though, that with these assassinations that Assad will now redouble his efforts and escalate the bloodshed even more?
Well, I think that will probably happen, but there's been no shortage of escalation on the part of the Assad regime since this rebellion or uprising began 17 months ago, and he's been completely ruthless, and his military have been very ruthless in dealing with the uprising. So in a sense it'd probably be more of the same, but I think what we are seeing is a very significant, I think we've probably entered a phase, Simon, where we're entering a grim end game. Many people felt the Assad regime was doomed, it's lost its legitimacy, but we are now seeing key officials of the regime being affected by the violence. And I think obviously this may have major ramifications diplomatically as well.
Well, that's right. We've been waiting as the UN negotiations have been going on between the various countries. That vote's now been delayed. Do you think this suicide bomb attack will change how that vote is likely to go?
Well, it's interesting. The Russians, a foreign ministry official for Russia said overnight that the Assad regime now seems to be fighting a rearguard action. Now, the choice of words suggest that the Russians are beginning to face the reality that the Assad regime, the days of that regime are numbered, and that may well begin to soften their position with respect to supporting the Assad regime. So far, Russia has blocked UN Security Council resolution measures which call for sanctions and call for a political transition after, with the stepping down of Assad. So far, the Russians have resisted that on the grounds that it's interference in the domestic affairs of Syria. But they may now realise that with Assad's future very uncertain, that it may be pragmatic to embrace the possibility that they'd hitherto resisted.
Right, and do you think there's any point now for the UN insisting on sort of sanctions against Syria or even a military option?
Well, I think it's very important that the UN Security Council tries to take actions which will bring an end to this violence as soon as possible. More than 15,000 Syrians have been killed in the last 17 months. It's imperative the UN Security Council re-establish some authority over the situation. It's been paralysed. It's been a disgrace when you think about it, Simon. In the 21st century, this sort of carnage has gone on with the international community effectively looking on.
Okay, Robert Patman, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.